From what I can tell, we seem to have crossed through the Flumen Strait and into the Rogue Sea.
So that fog gave us enough cover to push our way past the sea fortress, huh? I guess what matters is that we squeaked our way out of the jaws of death.
Okay, I'm just gonna come out and say it! What in the crap was all that? Why did the Balta C4 stab us in the back?
Keep it down in there, goofball.
Oh, come on! Tell me this isn't insane! All of a sudden, our allies are raining fire on us while the Grieger bail us out!
Speaking of which, where did those Grieger end up going?
Good question. I'm not seeing any of their ships around.
Don't you have any idea, Easer? About why the C4's attacked, I mean.
I'm sorry, but it's a mystery to me too.
At any rate, it's too risky for us to be sailing out in the open like this. Might be smart to find a place to hide the boat and get her patched up.
Good idea.
The best thing we can do for now is keep our priorities straight. Some weird-looking formations over there.
I believe those are the Rune Islands. They're also called the Eroded Remnants, named after the array of oddly shaped rocks.
Well, I'm no but that island over there might be the safe...
True. I have no objections.
Then that settles it. Okay. How's about we have everyone give a status report?
All of the wounded have been attended to on our end. Adol's condition requires constant care from my father and Dr. Flair, though.
Adol. I'm worried for him.
Damn it all! We should have known that witch Yurth had one last trick up her sleeve. It's a done deal, though.
Yeah. On that note, we finished verifying which parts of the ship have been wrecked.
Nice work, Cruz.
Well, it's about the...
If we expedite the process at full bore, that's a generous estimate, though.
Don't sweat. We'll round up everyone who can pitch in and not...
Leave it to Dogi to keep the cogs.
Adol?
Not so fast, man. You sure it's okay for you to be strolling around?
It's a miracle you even can. The way it looked, that blade struck you right where it counts.
What a relief you're all right.
Even Dr. Flair couldn't believe he got better in so...
I figured you weren't gonna kick the bucket that easily.
Guess this is as good a time as any. Adol, everyone, there's something I want to say. I'm still reeling over it, so this might not come out exactly right. But, as of a while ago, I can now tap into the might of a berserker.
For real?
The might of a berserker?
I was there this one time Grimson used it. It's this Norman thing that makes you crazy. And I mean crazy strong.
That's not much of an explanation.
One of the mercenaries in my group was a Norman. So I've seen the Berserker state before too. It's an intense form of combat that lets the user fight at multiple times their usual limits. The way I hear it, they can't stop until every last bit of energy they have is spent.
That much is true. You get completely overtaken by powerful, uncontrollable impulses. It's as if your body's consumed with a burning desire to turn everything into ash. That feeling holds you hostage, causing you to attack anyone and everyone, friend or foe. How awful.
Sounds no different from Rosa during her runaway rampages.
Maybe you'd like to be turned to ash? That's pretty much what I thought going berserk was like too. Apparently, it gets triggered by the darkness in one's heart.
Well, I don't have anything of the sort.
But, back on the Naglfar, once it looked like Adol was at death's door, those impulses started building up more and more. Right when I thought they were about to erupt, they wrapped around Yurth and absorbed her instead. Before I realized it, my gnawing urges had changed into something else entirely. Yeah. I could tell what it was by instinct. There was no other way to see it. This power is... No. It's more that... I'm Rollo.
Rollo. The one whose descendant the three generals were seeking?
I'm not sure I follow.
When my urges took year then, they gave birth to a pitch-black emotion I couldn't rein back. One that rejects everything about the world, existing only to bring it to ruin. That in itself is the Rollo the Trident was hoping to manifest. Turns out the descendant of Rollos they were looking for, their liege, was me all along.
You, Miss Katja? That's absurd.
There's gotta be some kind of mistake.
I wouldn't be so sure. This would explain why the Balta Sea Force double-crossed us out of nowhere.
About that, it all pretty much happened at the drop of a hat. Almost like they knew in advance.
Aye. Odds are, Grimson was keenly aware of me being Rollo. As for why Other and Lager protected the Sandras despite being Grieger, well, I think you can put it together.
Forgive us for eavesdropping, but we heard the whole thing.
Given the subject matter, I'd say we're entitled to listen in.
Pops. Dad?
Many of Karnak's residents have been saved thus far as a result of your efforts. Our differences aside, I speak from the heart when I say we are grateful to Karja.
It's for that exact reason that we've... But then, we heard what you said just now.
Karja identified herself as the Grieger's liege. Should that truly be the case, we will have to reconsider our involvement.
Pops, are you freaking serious?
This should come as no surprise. I am the mayor of Karnak, after all. We can't very well join hands with the same band who leveled our town.
Look, we still can't say any of this for sure yet.
That's right! Not even Karja herself has sorted it out!
And besides, think about everything we've gone through together! Adel and Karja were the ones who rescued you both in the first place!
I understand the point you're trying to make. But the fact of the matter is that the Sandras was just bombarded by the Balta Sea Force. What do you suppose would become of us were we to stay this course?
Ahem. I've been letting this slide up till... You're a smart kid, my...
But... Hello. Mind if I cut in?
A Grieger?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you can forgive this little disturbance. Might I prevail upon you to humor me with a momentary truce?
Lager.
I simply assumed you sought clarification from me. But my, isn't this just the most delicious of developments? Why, merely standing before you has me awash in goosebumps. Karja, you are indisputably the latest in our liege's lineage. Rather an enigma how we failed to notice as much for all this time.
Indisputably, he says.
It can't be.
Well, if I really am Rollo, then what comes next?
Ah, yes. For the time being, what say we have you meet with Lady Lila? Oh, there's no purpose to speak of. Being our liege, Karja has every right to meet with Lady Lila. As for the why, I'd say you're better served inquiring that of her directly. Not to mention, it would be ill-advised for our liege to remain with the Sandras. The spooky, scary Balta Sea Force is out on the bloodthirsty hunt after all.
Land sakes!
What's your take, Shield Brother? Aye. It could land us right into Lager's trap, but you have to meet with Lila either way. Right, Adel?
Excellent. It would seem you have your decision.
Karja, you can't!
What she said! There's no reason to believe a word out of this guy's mouth!
Here's an idea. To the fair people of the Sandras, I will impart a gift.
The heck's this?
A sunstone. An ancient tool that's certain to be of use to your ilk. With it, navigating even the depths of the White Shade will prove a trifling matter. This, in turn, will allow you to reach Serena's Island in the Marine Triangle, where Lady Lila awaits.
Why are you giving this to us?
If you're going to exit the main stage, the least you can do is play the part of a rapt audience. Though that doesn't quite seem to be your inclination, given the flow of conversation earlier. As your mayor made plain, you may no longer have any incentive to play along.
Hey! We've got every intention of...
There is no word that rings more hollow than the human concept of intent. Mayhaps you had best confer with the rest of your circle? Now then, my liege, let us depart once your preparations are in order.
Fine. Never thought I'd see the day I sailed under Grieger colors. Aye. No signs of anything tricky underfoot, but that's only for the moment.
Dear, oh dear. How disheartening it is that you're so on guard, my liege. And to think your welcome presence has me elated to the point of choking on my tears.
Quit chewing this scenery. If I really am your liege, then answer me this. Where did Other go?
He stayed behind at Grugel Fortress to deal with the Balta Sea Force. No one else has the capacity to keep your father dearest at bay. Even I was given a good thrashing during our altercation earlier.
Grimson. He knew about this Rolo business the whole time, didn't he?
You're asking for my impression? Having reflected on Grimson's actions and the Balta Sea Force's behavior in retrospect, I would even go so far as to say they had deliberately steered you toward awakening as Rolo.
Stow the wild guessin'!
My word. It should go without saying that this is merely conjecture on my part. Save your questions for Lady Lila, perhaps, if you wish to learn more about yourself.
Lila? What's she got to do with me?
I'm afraid my lips are sealed on that matter. Why, you ask? Because it'll be far more entertaining to have you hear the answer from the woman herself.
She's linked to the Grieger somehow. On top of being the one who gave Adal the power of mana. We're way past the point of treating her as just some person. Aye, now that you mention it. Either way, we're stuck dancing to his tune for now. We need to get something out of this. I'll be damned if we come up empty.
A sight for sore eyes. At last, we enter the Marine Triangle.
The White Shade! That time we entered it from the north had us wandering blindly, unable to tell left from right. That giant crystal. Is it the same as the one you gave Gren?
The Sunstone. It is an ancient tool that locates the position of the sun, directing you to your port of call. Once upon a time, the Normans developed a variety of techniques to aid their forays into the great blue unknown. Sunstones, fashioned out of a mineral known as Silverberg, are among their antique creations.
That's so. Hold on a second. If you're the one making the fog, then why even bother with this thing?
From our perspective, humans are helpless, fleeting creatures. I find it oddly endearing how such a species employs their ingenuity toward invention in their struggle to survive. You could consider this my way of paying homage to that.
Can't say I follow.
Aha! In more pertinent news, I do believe our destination is in sight. Over yonder is Serenez Island, where Lady Lila resides.
Yeah, won't be easy for this ship to make it to shore.
It is as you say. The surrounding reefs prevent the Uvolti from venturing any closer. Apologies, my liege, but you will have to make the rest of the journey by rowboat.
Huh? You aren't coming along?
I shall be following you in short order. In spite of appearances, my duties are many.
Not sure what to think. Not her. Ever since we met, I've wanted to learn more about myself. Something inside me always had a hunch that I wasn't normal. But this is just too much. And Grimson, he never told me a word about it. Is it because he knew this would happen? Or even worse?
You're asking for my impression? Having reflected on Grimson's actions and I would even go so far as to say they had deliberately steered you toward awakening as Rolo.
You mean Grimson? No more turning a blind eye to things. I hate to drag you into it, Adol, but when I do confront him, will you come with me? All right. Thanks. I feel better now. We can go ashore on that beach up ahead. Just keep rowing forward. So this is Serenez Island. Feels more like a tower. Not sure where Lila is. But for now, the only way to go is around and up.
Adol? It's me. Lila. Why are you here? Thank you. But please, take caution. Come quickly.
Cut off again, huh? Think it's safe to say we're in the right place, though.
Let's catch our breath.
Huh. Here? What's this? Almost feels like a prison of water. Adol, up ahead! Hey, Brother.
Doll?
She looks weak, but not hurt. Let's get her down from... What did I just hit?
A barrier Lady Lila erected when she sealed us 3 generals away long ago. But alas, the only one it presently confines is Lady Lila herself.
Lager.
Left to her own devices, she would have simply sealed us away once more. But please, don't misunderstand me. I'm actually here for your benefit.
Explain how.
For ages, I have been searching. Undying though I may be, my heart is ever hollow. And so, I seek to fill it. Thus did I grow lovesick over the sagas of man. Thus did I meet you both. The end point of my curiosity's journey is the manner in which I die. How does one who is undying find death? To say nothing of how they best ought to. The one who sealed Lady Lila, my liege, was none other than yours truly. Should you wish to free her, you have no choice but to vanquish me.
Don't tell me. Are you trying to repeat what happened to yours?
Indeed. For that would appear to be the part I play in this tale. Taking in my essence will bring us one step closer to restoring Rolo in all his glory.
He transformed!
Karja, you must not fight him!
Lila, why would you tell me to...
The stage is set for a most sensational performance! In service of this saga's rising action, I shall combat you with everything I can muster! Retaliate in earnest, my liege, lest your lives all be forfeit! Bear witness!
Switch! Here I go!
Curtain rises on our final chapter! Wreak havoc! Have your fill!
Lila! To me! Fire in the hole!
Wreak havoc!
Eat this!
You must fight!
How can we not? He'll kill us otherwise!
Your faces, your expressions, they're simply magnificent! I couldn't possibly be more elated!
Lila! To me!
Have your fill!
Crumble!
Shield brethren, together!
Success.
Switch!
Switch out! Lager, of all the dirty tricks, You left us no choice but to defeat you!
I can only hope this was enough to pen my way into a page of your saga. Shame though it is that I cannot witness its continuation. To share in your footsteps, my liege, is just as well.
Damn it! Shield, brother. Thanks. That was a close one. Lila! Wait. This girl... A bit of rest, and I should be fine. Karja, outside. Huh? It has been ages since my last breath of fresh air. May I ask you to bring me outside? Oh, sure. The white shade. It's gone. Aye. The marine triangle makes for a fairer sight this way. Much better than before, Adol. Karja, allow me to thank you for coming to my rescue. I especially appreciate your traveling all this way, Adol. You've gone through so many hardships on my behalf. There are no words to express my gratitude. Karja, how are you faring? It would seem your and Adol's combined powers have been able to keep your condition under control. Yeah, somehow. But more importantly, we've got a mountain of questions to ask you. I can only imagine. Where to even begin? First off, are you a human or what? And how do you know so much about me? I am a spirit who has inhabited Obelia Gulf since time immemorial. A spirit? I am also Rollo's wife, as well as your forebear. What? Yes, of that there is no doubt. Let me get this straight. I'm descended from Rollo and you, a spirit? Correct. I expect this revelation comes as a shock. Then... what was Rollo's connection to the three generals? I will explain everything from start to finish. Adol, I ask that you listen close as well. Our story begins roughly 140 years ago. In a Norman settlement, Rollo was born as the son of the Jarl. He was an irascible babe, even biting off the ear of the wet nurse who delivered him. As a young boy, his deeds and demeanor were marked with a brutality not even the Normans could bear. His elders, their tolerance exhausted, brought him on a plundering expedition before he came of age. Rollo performed many a great feat upon the fields of battle.
But he fought with such ruthless savagery that even his allies feared and abhorred him.
Right. Parts of this were recorded on the runestones we've seen.
Yes. But the most significant is yet to follow. Eventually, Rollo slew his father, the Jarl, and visited tyranny upon every corner of the North Sea. It was then that he heard the rumors of a hidden treasure, known as the Sea King's Throne. In time, he appeared unto me, the throne's keeper.
The Sea King's Throne? The one that can grant people's wishes?
Yes, though it isn't quite as opportune as the fables suggest. As I was saying, there he was. Rollo had managed to reach the temple that housed the throne, all by his lonesome. Son of man, what is it you seek?
Everything!
And what does that entail?
What else? Riches, women, and land.
Those desires are not your own. They are those of the ones who led you here.
Huh?
Gaze into the water's reflection.
What in blazes?
Someone saw fit to lade an empty vessel with pure malice. You are that vessel. Who, then, does that make you? From the instant we met, I could tell there was something irregular about him. Standing before my eyes, it was as though he were the very embodiment of malice. Far more than a single human being could possibly harbor.
Malice?
Yes. At the same time, his very existence evoked a feeling of dissonance. The malice was unadulterated, to the point where there was no sense of personhood to be found. But then...
Who am I?
You... Could it be? That exchange led me to a realization. It wasn't that Rollo lacked an individual self. Rather, it was such a diminutive size that the malice pushed it to the depths of his heart. What's more, the seed of said malice was planted by an external force.
Huh? But who? And why?
That I do not know. From there, subsequent events caused Rollo to become aware of his own abnormalities. He then returned from a lengthy voyage, after which I seated him upon the Sea King's throne. His sole wish? To live as a normal human being. The throne granted his plea, and thus did he regain his identity. However, at that moment, the malice embedded in him was set free. Hubris, Nile, and lust. Such are the true forms of Other, Lager, and Yurth, respectively. Immediately following their release, nothing of note. Rollo repented for his past actions and became the ruler of this land, ushering it into prosperity.
As the Duchy of Norgard, right?
Yes. The nation flourished, and peaceful days prevailed for some time. Rollo and I were wed, and together we had a child. Then, one fateful day, those aspects of malice that were thought to have dissipated re-emerged with Grieger in tow. And by their hands, the entirety of the realm was stricken by the great calamity. Rollo prepared several arcs in which he sent his subjects to safety. But immediately after that, he disappeared from Obelia Gulf entirely.
That was written on the runestone in the Flumen Strait.
In order to protect this land he so loved, I kept the malice sealed away here. Until a few short months ago, that is. The generals, having regained their power, turned the tables and sealed me away in their place. I used the last of my remaining strength to imbue a seashell with mana and send it out into the sea.
And Adol wound up finding that same shell in Karnak.
Karja. Even while maintaining the seal, I had been able to sense your presence. But just what are these shackles that bind you? They seem to be a product of mana.
Oh, right! That's one of the things I wanted to ask about. But going by what you just said, I'm guessing it doesn't ring a bell.
Unfortunately not. And although I'm sure you've already grasped this, the Trident's aim is to root themselves into your heart and give rise to Rollo anew. That is what must be addressed first and foremost.
Adol.
Before anything else, you must avoid battling the last of the three generals. If Karja takes Other's essence into herself, Rollo will surely be revived.
Nothing doing. We're taking him down, and that's that.
But why?
You haven't forgotten, right, Shield Brother? Unless we defeat Other, you'll die.
What do you mean by that? I see. This curse is potent indeed. Forgive me, but I can offer no aid here. But under these circumstances, one of you will be doomed no matter what we do. Adol, Karja, would you accompany me to the Seabed Temple of Ire?
Seabed Temple?
Yes. It is where I once lived, as well as the location of the Sea King's throne. Provided its power is still usable, there may yet be hope.
Chomping at the bit already, huh?
The Seabed Temple is further west from the Marine Triangle. Specifically, in what are known as the Waters of Creation, the Raoul Darksea.
Wait a minute! The Raoul Darksea is home to the most treacherous waves in all of Obelia Gulf. We don't even have a ship now that Logger's out of the picture.
Oh, I doubt that will be a concern. Just look at the horizon behind you.
That's Sandra's! But why? That isn't even the part I'm talking about. They shouldn't have any reason to fall in with us anymore.
The two of you have surmounted a great many tribulations up to this point. I imagine the experience has left you with grievous wounds, Karja. In mind and body both. But while there are undoubtedly more trials yet to come, you must hold your head high, Karja Balta. For there is also much you have gained in the